Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I should see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. I'm recording now because we got D&D in half an hour-ish or so. Back in action with D&D. I was basically just like, I didn't have a lot of time. Like, I should have probably prepared a bit more over a weekend, but then I looked at it and I was like, I see why I didn't, because I'm not entirely sure what is going to be happening. I just agreed to a Discord thing. I have no idea what it said, which is probably a dangerous thing to do. What was Discord's update right now? I don't know. Hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 6:12 PM on Monday, September 29th, 2025. The reason is because this group is just basically having like lore revelation after lore revelation. Like the past 3 sessions have just been like big revelation, like a pretty big revelation, bigger revelation, over and over and over again. And it's weird. It's probably the best way for me to put it. And I've just thought about something where I don't even know if I've actually have I done before side and have I made a scene with the thing I need to be a scene. No, hold on, this is the wrong thing. This is NPCs. That's not what I want. I need to look at my backgrounds. If not, then that will be a problemo. Okay, it looks like I haven't done it. It's not within the end of the world because I don't have to use that scene, to be honest. Now I think about it, it was just something that came to mind. I can't remember what it's called though. That's a thing, because I saw it was so obscure, but it was during one of the art fight attacks I did on someone's character 2 years ago or something. I was like, oh, this character referenced something, which I was like, what is that? I looked it up and I was like, conceptually this looks so cool. But I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm going down an entirely wild goose chase just to find this one specific thing. Oh, OBS not working. Okay, fine. Good old scroll lock will never fail me. Let's see. Still not working. Okay, hold on. We've got too many things on the go at the moment. Elgato. No, what's it called? Stream Deck. Sometimes it just doesn't work, and I don't really know why. Waiting for OBS. OBS is here. What about this one? Does this one work? No. Sometimes it just doesn't work, and it's really annoying. Probably because I just did the OBS update, and half the time the OBS update's fine. My Discord mute still works. I don't know. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, since we're currently using OBS, we'll just have to remember and have to make sure that issue doesn't end up being a problem. But I wanted to get the art of this one random thing which is referenced in that I saw one random time. Yeah, you ever go on these completely nonsensical wild goose chases just to find this thing? Oh yeah, here we go. This is the character, and this is where I saw it was described, I think. Now the problem is if they've updated their description, which I think they have, because it doesn't say. Oh, here it is. Is that it? Is that what it's called? Oh yes, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Okay, I can't say it out loud because it might give hints of exactly what it's referencing. I don't even know what this is from necessarily, but it looks very cool. And actually, now look at it, it doesn't really look like what I wanted. But fantasy art, let's see. We'll see which ones I want. Because I know conceptually what I want. It's a thing where it's just like, I wish I had time to actually draw out all these things, which I was just like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I want, but I guess I'll do that afterwards. Don't even sweat it. But yeah, I was planning a little bit, being like, okay, there's like all these things, like I don't even know what we're gonna do necessarily. I think it's like midnight or something for them, like past midnight. Why did I not make a note? I'm pretty sure it's past midnight. I should have made a note of it. 17 below more of a morning. That doesn't seem right. Is it a morning for them? Like they fell asleep while doing this. I guess it is a morning for them. Huh. See, this is the stuff I should have prepared yesterday, but then instead I played League of Legends for some unfathomable reason. Placed in Gold 4. It was the first time I played Summoner's Rift for like months, I think. In a non-Doombots variation. How was it? It was completely fine, I would say. But the game itself is, of course, like I was playing with my friends. I would never deign to do that, play by myself, I suppose, like that anymore, but... yeah. But with wild goose chases of things. Happens a lot, I think, in conversational threads, you know, where it's sort of like, how did you get onto this conversational topic? Oh, I don't know, it's because I thought of this, and 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 it all basically went in some crazy roundabout circle, you know? I also forgot to say, which I normally say in the first 5 minutes as an update, finally have I gotten my refund processed for my phone. So not only have I got the difference between the phone prices refunded, I've also got the cost of my first phone refund technically processed. Well, technically refunded, it's not quite yet been processed, but it only got the email updating it today. So finally, almost 2 months after they incorrectly gave me the wrong phone, I finally have gotten a refund for it. So it's taken an absolute age, because the phone is not cheap. It was about like £1,000 or so, and I've been using it now for a month. And it's great. It's all absolutely fantastic. But it's just how long I had to wait for it is just unbelievable. Crazy, isn't it? Anyway, patience is a virtue and all that. Which, to continue a wild sort of goose chase, I think the most frustrating thing is when you can't resolve what that through line of thinking was that you wanted. Because it was fine for me, because I was like, I remember I saw this concept art once. Where did I see it? I saw it from an Artfight character. Where did I see that Artfight character was? Because it was this Artfight character, and there was a description in their toy house of their character, which I looked up because I didn't understand what it meant. And all of that sort of combining together to be like, this is just the most obscure way around possible to actually try and find this thing. Is it a bad way? No, I mean, I found it in the end, but I mean, it's not often, I suppose. Worked out as a particularly suitable way, I would say, of actually trying to recall information, just going on these like crazy mental journey chasers, you know, trying to be like, where does this thing slot in? I don't know. Who knows? It's an absolute mystery, and you gotta keep searching until you actually find it. That's the actual difficult part. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like other things where it's just like, what other things do I remember in a really, really roundabout way that I basically remember through an absolute chain of thought processes, rather than like a much more sensible remember it more directly. It's a bit hard to answer that, I think, off the top of your head, huh? It's not like something immediately comes to mind being like, oh yes, I remember this in the most roundabout way possible. It just sort of is a roundabout way, isn't it? I'm still trying to summon something from the depths of my mind. Something which doesn't exist in the depths of my mind. To be like, yes, this is something which I remember in a weird way. Let me think. I'd say as I've been trying to think this entire time of something. I mean, it kind of goes into a point of like remembering something that you remember is wrong as a way to memorize something, which is, I would say, not a particularly efficient way to memorize anything, mind you, but is theoretically a way. I wonder if that's what I do with a lot of my D&D stuff as well. But yeah, cool as. Not exactly the easiest thing to do, I suppose. I'm also trying to think, you know, I didn't really take into consideration until now. How are the two campaigns lined up temporarily with each other? Okay, the other group is about a day ahead. How did this happen? I don't know, to be honest. At some point I was meant to inject some time. Well, I wanted to inject some downtime in between to realign them, just because I think it's easier if they're aligned on the same day. But there's not been a clean cut from Act 2 to Act 3, I suppose. We just kind of found ourselves in Act 3 somehow. Mainly because I thought some of these story arcs might be a little bit resolved a little bit faster, but it turns out, no it didn't. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing, it's just like, you know, it's a great thing, because it means there's an agency of choice, I suppose. And the players have been like, oh yeah, this is another interesting path which we want to explore before we fully send this one. I would almost liken it to doing a side quest before doing a main quest, except for there's more like 3 main quests going on simultaneously, so perhaps it's not the most accurate way to portray it. Anywho, yeah, I still have this random memory when I was younger, I don't know why, of essentially, as a child, being in the car, speaking with, I can't remember, my family or something, and then I don't even remember what the conversation was about. For some reason in my mind it was something to do it was something vaguely to do with Superman. I don't necessarily know why that's the case or if that's true, but it just feels like that was the case in my mind. Anyway, it was something to do with Superman, and then I just remember being like, I wonder how we got onto this conversation topic, because I can't remember. And I still don't know the answer to that. Because that was my first, like, I don't know why I still have a memory of that moment, but I have that memory so solidly in my mind, formed in my mind, and it's like, what am I going to do with this information? Just the random memory of me being like, oh yes, I remember, in one random point in time, in a car, speaking to my family, being like, how do we get to this conversation topic? Mind you, I was like, I want to say like 10 or something, maybe younger. Why on earth was that something which is stuck in my memory? I honestly cannot tell you. The memory works in the weird and wonderful ways, shall we say. And this one, certainly a bit more on the weird side. Because the chain of, the thread chain, which has led to this moment, probably is very innate or anything, but I don't remember why I specifically remember the end of it. Because I remember being like, how do we get to this? And then trying to sit there and think, and I'm being unable to recollect exactly how we came to this conversation point in the first place. Is that a bad thing necessarily? I guess not, but it's more like it's more like a weird thing, if anything. It's like, how could this be? I don't know. How do we get to this chain? I don't know. It just is. It just is one of the final places where we've ended up conversationally, and I just have no recollection of how to get there. Now, what did I start talking about in this episode? I don't know. I feel like my brain's a bit scattered all over the place, so maybe it's not going to be as smooth sailing a D&D sessions I once thought, but we'll see. At the very least, I'm not ill, which, you know, is much more of a detriment, I think, to it. And despite the fact I probably have a lot of, like, law drop sort of things to say. I'd imagine there's going to be a lot of discussion over what they're going to be doing, or focusing on what this very strange, very unusual, I suppose, law drop will be. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to wrap this episode up here because I've lost a conversational plot, I'm going to be real. I'm not even sure if I ever had it. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.